Hi guys, how are you? I hope you all enjoyed my last video. I just wanted to say thank you to those that messaged me. I was so shocked at the response. I actually didn't think anyone would watch it. Like I said, I just wanted to put it out there. I wanted to do it for Bants really. So it was very shocking when, a lot of people messaged me to say they just had such nice things to say, and people that I didn't even think would message were like, oh my god, I never saw this on One Born Every Minute, or they were like, I feel so much better now that I'm about to give birth. A lot of people found it funny, to be honest. But yeah, I just wanted to say thank you for all your support. And off the back of that, I felt like when I watched it, once I uploaded it, I was like, oh my god, this is so embarrassing. It's literally putting myself out there to get judged. But like I said, I'm just a really I don't care kind of person. But so when I watched it back, I was like, oh my god, there was so much more I could have said. Honestly, this is just a topic that you can just go on and on. So I just thought I'd make this what happened next. I feel like for example, your friends have had babies. It was like you went to visit them at the hospital, or when the baby came home for the first day, you'd go and you'd be like, oh my god, that's so exciting. Everyone, you've got a million and one questions to ask them, like how they feel and everything. But then once the door closes, you actually don't know what happens. It's your home, it's your privacy. But I just feel like there's some things that I wish I would have known, when it came around to me. And again, guys, this is just my story. First of all, I'd like to start by saying that I don't know if it was just our birth center or... Guys, I didn't realise that when you have a baby, they actually say to you to watch out for pees and poos. If your baby doesn't pee or poo within the first 24 hours, you need to take them straight to A&E. Guys, when I heard this, I was like, I've had my baby for 5 minutes and you're telling me I need to take him to the A&E. What? Well, where is this, the small print? So basically, when your baby is born, they have to pass the first poo, which is the meconium. It's really black and sticky. Guys, tip: if you're about to have a baby, pack some Vaseline. So when you wipe the baby down and put Vaseline on their butt and little bits, so that when they do pass sticky poos, the next time you wipe, it just literally just wipes off. So it's much easier. We've been discharged. We got home at 10. He hadn't pooed because on the nappies there's a little yellow line that turns blue, which is, done a wee. And we were like, this is still yellow, what do we do? And I was speaking to my dad actually, and he was like, just when you change his nappy, put a wet wipe on his belly, just above his bits, and it will make him pee because the coldness. Literally, it was basically that. We wiped him and he just peed, his little winky was like pee. So we didn't have to take him A&E, but this was one of the things that I had no idea. So for me, it was it was a massive shock, and a bit anxious and nervous because I was like, I just want to be at home cuddling my baby. Why am I already thinking about taking him to A&E? So it was a bit stressful. Also, when you wake up after you give birth and you go to pee, for an instant didn't think it was going to burn. I don't know why. I peed and I was like, oh my god, it was stinging. Oh, it burns. Your pee is obviously hot and your vagina is still swollen. Very TMI, but you're still very swollen. And so I started taking a little plastic jug. I went to pee. I'd pour it while I was peeing. Ladies, I promise you, it was such a relief to pee this way. And also, personally, I wouldn't want to wipe because, guys, oh my god, I can't even explain, I just can't explain how sore you are. Maybe guys, this is not PG, but so when you have loads of sex and you're sore and you go pee and it's just the little burn, it's basically like that, except like your vagina's just stretched out 10 centimeters and had a human head out. So, but sort of. But anyways, it was such a nice relief when I went to pee. And I do listen, guys, no one ever told me this. Like, everyone just said, yeah, your vagina hurts, but maybe it's just me. I didn't put two and two together and say, if your vagina hurts, it's going to hurt when you pee, you know. But it did. Freeze your pads, or if you just put them in the fridge and then when you go change, you put them on. I promise you, it's amazing. It's just so soothing on your bits. And you can spray it with witch haze. Again, it's super soothing and it helps to like recover bits down there if you've had stitches, or even if not, it's just very soothing. So that was a tip for you ladies. Something no one else told me was the first time you poop after giving birth. Oh my god, guys, I cannot stress how stressful it was. Like, I think it's just this trauma that you've put in your head. Or for me, like, I was literally traumatized. I was like, guys, so my baby was born on a Saturday. It was Friday and I still hadn't done a poo. And I remember my mum was here with my friend. I was literally thinking about it because obviously, like, your body's like, you know, I need to like let it out. But in your head, you're like, oh my god, but it's gonna hurt because my stitches. And for some reason, I'm thinking my vagina, my butthole are like neighbours, it's gonna hurt. But anyways, within the space of 20 minutes while they were saying bye, I was literally like, I have a jug of like a litre of water. I refilled it up 4 times that while they were saying bye, and I just drank it because I could feel my body going like. So, and I was literally so nervous. I had just been to the doctors and I had asked for stool softeners. They had given me that, and they had given me, I don't know how to pronounce it, but little things that you put up your butt and it helps you poo. I was literally like, oh my god, it's just a poo, I can naturally do it. And my auntie was like, when I gave birth, I had to poop standing up, so because I was so traumatized. So I was like, oh my god, like, it's literally gonna fucking hurt. Anyways, as soon as my mom and friend went out that door and my boyfriend walked out, literally he went to walk the dog, my body was like, Jazz, I can't do it anymore. And I ran to the toilet, guys. Honestly, it was more my trauma. It was like my mind playing games with me. Then literally I didn't even feel a thing. But having said that, you'd think, okay, you've done it once, you can do it again. No, just the thought of it was traumatizing, guys. And it just wasn't fun. And I'm thinking like, bitches are just gonna like pop out and I'm gonna be bleeding to death and run into A&E. No one told me how traumatic that was going to be. It took me 3 months to get back into, like, to have my digestive system get back into place. So I think that was one of the, like, postpartum things that I most suffered with, I guess. And also on the second night, so I've always been a very independent person. I always like to help people, but I'm more of a like, I'm fine, I don't need help. Like, I'm very reserved in my own self. So literally broke down. My boyfriend came into the room and I was just there on the bed crying my literally bogies out. And he was like, what's wrong, baby? Like, what the hell? Obviously, at this point in his head, he's like, oh my gosh, she's got postpartum depression. And because obviously you become so aware of what can happen with all the hormones and how women feel after giving birth. So he's like panicking. He's like, what's wrong? Like, this, you know, again, this is what society has made us out to think. Like, he was like, this is the happiest you should be. Like, what's wrong? I was crying because every single hair on my body hurt. Like, I couldn't moisturize myself. I couldn't put my knickers up. Everything just hurt. And it made me so upset, guys, that I couldn't do these simple things by myself. And it was just very frustrating, and that really like took a toll on me. I was saying to him, I was like, I can't cream myself. I can't like put my socks on. And he was looking at me like, Jess, you just gave birth. Like, let me look after you. But obviously in my stubborn head, I'm like, It's fine, I don't need help. It's my socks. I can do this by myself. I'm a grown woman. That's just how I am. So that was very frustrating. Having said that, like probably 2 months in as well, my hips stopped, like they finally got better. While I was contracting, my midwife was like, she was pushing down on my hips to like, so say this is my pelvis and this is his head was like slightly tilt, so as she's pushing my hip, his head was like moving like this to go down. So she was applying pressure on my hips, and guys, I promise you, for the 2 months that followed birth, my hips, I was walking so slow, and it pissed me off because my boyfriend's really tall, so 1 footstep for him is like 5 for me, and he's like walking slowly with the buggy, and I'm literally right behind, like, and I'm crying, and I'm like, stop, like, just slow down, like, wait for me. Guys, it was just so stressful, and it was something that I had to deal with, and you know, I had a few events that I had to go to, and it was just like being in this pain and putting up like a, you know, a happy face. It was quite difficult for me, but again, it's just mind over matter. It's like if I was mentally fine, but it was my body that was making me feel like flop. So it was something that I struggled with a lot. But yeah, no one told me about that pain. Again, this is, maybe it was just me, the way my body reacted to it. Like I said, I had a 10-pound baby, and maybe it was just a toll that it took on my body, and my body was like freaking out. So that was one of the things that I had no clue on. Do you know what's more frustrating, guys? That once you get on top of it and you think you've got everything under control, and you're like, yeah, okay, like I'm on top of it, and then the baby's like, surprise, and they start doing something else, because obviously day by day goes, they're growing, they're mentally developing more, so they just like to mix things up, and you just have to be patient and ride it out. And I think this is more so a note to self, because I'm here telling you that you need to have patience, and in my head I'm like, Jess, you need to have patience. But yeah, that was I think my first week of postpartum. But yeah, guys, that was just a short little video of things that came to my head after I recorded that video, and I was like, oh my god, like I should have said these things, how I felt postpartum and what I didn't know that I had to find out on the spot. I think the main one was that the babies don't come with instructions or manuals. Like, you can't refund them, you can't really do anything with them, you just have to go with the flow and try and read them. And there's not even an on and off button. You can't like turn it on and see maybe it's broken and now it's working, like. But hey, we are 5 months deep and it's going good. I get bored and I just talk, and this is what happens. Just do you, boo. You do you, boo.